Okay, we have the final semester project for John Freisen and Joseph Harper, the small projectile launcher. Here we first have it set at 65 degrees and at a height of 0, level with the ground. Our first successful launch is short, but within 5 to 7 meters. We'll mark it there. See here in the center we have a bullseye. On the left we have 5 meters, which it does land just before. And towards the right we have 7 meters. You'll notice here we go to mark and mismark it just a little bit past where it actually landed, which is why we have this video to adjust it later. And next we'll record the timing. You can see here it lands between about shoots from 5.44 seconds to about 7.05 seconds. And that gives us a total of 1.61 seconds of flight time for trial number 1 at 65 degrees at a height of 0. And next we have 75 degrees at a height of 0. Successful launch here after we get it nice and orderly. Here it spends quite a lot of time in the air. Successful launch. I go to mark it. And here we can see that it lands pretty close to where it initially hit. That marker 2 is fairly accurate. And timed that one at a launch at about 12.24 seconds. Right about there. And lands at closer to 14.45 seconds, right about there. So 12.24 to 14.45, we get a total of about 2.21 seconds for launch number 2. Launch number 3 at 45 degrees. And we've got a 1 cinder block height there added to the launch. And we have our successful launch at 45 degrees. Go and get that marked. The successful launch at 45 degrees. Again, not marked completely accurate, which is why we have the second camera angle here. A little off to the right of the launch. But we can see it's still fairly close to where it gets marked right about now. And when we go to look at the time of duration, we can see here at 45 degrees, initially launches at about 0.76 seconds, and then lands at about 1.87 seconds, which gives us a total of 1.11 seconds for 45 degrees. Next we have 35 degrees at the same launch height, sitting atop 1 cinder block. And this one, we have a successful launch on the first try. Go and get that marked. And the backup angle for accuracy. There it lands, just past the bullseye. And the mark, we're actually closer to target than we marked it, so we'll adjust for that later. And the recording of time at 35 degrees, we have a launch at about 30.18 seconds, right about there. And a land at about 31.22 seconds, right about there. Which gives us a total of 1.04 seconds for launch 4. Launch 5, we're at 20 degrees on a height of 2 cinder blocks now. And our successful launch for 20 degrees, the top 2 cinder blocks is coming right about now. And we have success. And we'll go mark that. And to the second camera angle, we can see it land right there. And we got that one marked pretty accurate. For the timing, at 20 degrees, about 33.93 seconds is the launch. And then we have for the landing about 34.50 seconds for a total of 5.57 seconds. Then our final 6th launch, we have a 10-degree launch, atop 3 cinder blocks for height. And our successful launch here, we'll see is quite fast. There we go, successful launch. And to get that measured, thank goodness for the backup camera here. And we'll see it coming in quickly. Just in front of the bullseye. I'm closest to the 6-meter mark yet. And we've got that measured pretty accurately. Now to measure the time. At 10 degrees, we can start the launch at about 12.92 seconds, right there. And lands at about 13.22 seconds, right about. Zoom in. There we go, 13.22, which gives the 10-degree launch a total flight time of 0.3 seconds. And here we have all of our final launches marked. And we'll go through and adjust to the best of our ability in the lab report. And here we have launch number 1 and its total distance. This is number 5 and its distance. Next, the last one I believe, yep, number 6 and its distance. Next we have launch number 2 and its distance. Followed by launch number 4 and its distance. And I believe this will be last but not least, number 3 and its distance. Again, these are the distances recorded. Try our best to get the actual distances in the report.